The Land Rover lineup isn't what it once was. Whereas it used to start with the Freelander, it's now been replaced with this, the Discovery Sport. And while it may sit alongside the Range Rover Evoque in terms of price, it offers more of a leisure offering than a full-on luxury one. It doesn't have the imposing angular 4x4 presence of the old Discovery or the squared off lines. Instead, it looks to fit in line with its more premium Evoque sibling without being too shouty. All Discovery Sports get a 2-litre diesel engine and 4-wheel drive, and there's a choice of 2 power outputs, either 148 or 178 brake horsepower. The less powerful model being available only with a manual gearbox, while the more powerful 178 brake horsepower version also has the option of a 9-speed automatic box. It's the latter that we would recommend. The auto box swaps ratios smoothly most of the time, although it can be a little dim-witted when pulling out of junctions or onto roundabouts. This being a Land Rover, it comes equipped with Terrain Response, Land Rover's very clever off-roading system. It just means it can go further than many of its rivals into the back and beyond. Simply select the type of terrain you're driving on and it will automatically set the car up to tackle it. It's an excellent system that we've seen across the rest of the Land Rover lineup. The ride is a little unsettled at low speed, but the Disco Sport copes with speed bumps well and is remarkably comfortable on the motorway. This is a tall off-roader, so there is some body lean through the bends, but the steering is nicely weighted and there's lots of grip. When the Discovery Sport was first launched, it was hamstrung by a decidedly gruff diesel engine. However, the latest 2-litre Ingenium diesel engine are pretty hushed and refined. There's some wind noise on the motorway, but less road noise than many of its rivals, including the BMW X3. The Discovery Sport may not be as large as its bigger brother, the Discovery, but you still get that king of the road driving position. Plus, getting comfortable is really straightforward thanks to lots of adjustment for the steering wheel and seat. The materials around the cabin are suitably upmarket, and there are classy touches like the brushed metal trim and slim-rimmed leather steering wheel. The dash is pretty straightforward to figure out. The centre console houses all the controls for the climate control and terrain response setup. It's all simple to use and clearly marked. At the top of the centre console is a touchscreen infotainment system. It's packed with features and is pretty easy to use too, although it isn't as intuitive as the iDrive system you'll find in the rival's BMW X3. What may surprise is just how much space passengers get both in the front and in the back, despite it being shorter than many of its rivals. This is a genuine 7-seater. There's plenty of head and legroom in the front and middle row, and while the rearmost 2 seats are designed for small kids, adults will fit on short journeys. The clever layout means that when they're not in use, they fold away to reveal a huge boot. If you go for the entry-level SE trim, you'll get all the essentials like parts leather trim, climate and cruise control, heated front seats, rear parking sensors, and the 8-inch colours touchscreen with DAB radio. The SE Tech adds sat-nav, auto lights and wipers, front parking sensors and a power tailgate. Safety kit is extensive, including automatic emergency braking, as is a lane departure warning system. There's even an airbag to protect passengers along the edge of the bonnet and windscreen too. To sum up, the Discovery Sport is brilliant in many key areas. It's good to drive, it's comfortable, it's practical thanks to those 7 seats, and as we've come to expect from Land Rover, it's brilliant through the rough stuff. It's even pretty cheap to run compared with rivals and should hold on to its value extremely well. Put simply, it's one of the very best large SUVs on the market. To find out more, search for the Land Rover Discovery Sport on whatcar.com, and to stay up to date with all our latest video reviews, click subscribe.